The cave update, I think it's safe to say, has been a fairly popular topic of discussion recently in the Minecraft community because of course caves have existed since Minecraft began but haven't really received any major updates over the years. So I thought I would try my best to pop in here and make some improvements. And of course I feel like it's worth mentioning, I'm going to try my best to make this feel as vanilla as possible whilst also adding some amazing redstone features. Does that sound good? I think that sounds good. Now the first thing that I've done is I've removed all of what I would consider to be the ugly blocks. Things like dirt, granite, diorite and andesite from all the walls. So now they're looking a little bit smoother. Oh my word, that's made such an improvement. But I think we can improve on it further by doing a little bit of ruining. So I'm going to start adding in some cobblestone stairs, slabs, cobblestone blocks, and also start throwing around things like this. Now, don't ask me why there would be coral down at the bottom of a cave. It kind of doesn't make too much sense, but it looks really cool in the context. It's like cave bushes. And actually, on the topic of bushes, these look good too. I really like the overgrown effect. I mean, if you look here, there's not actually too much going on. It's just a few slabs dotted around, and already I would say it's about a 200% improvement. I mean, if Mojang did this as the cave upgrade, I wouldn't be mad. Now, the reason I've left this space empty is because I'm going to do something big with it, but the rest of the cave has had the full treatment, and it looks pretty cool. It really does look quite cool, especially without my night vision potion. This is genuinely a little bit scary. Oh, it's a totally different feel. Anyway, that's enough of the pretty stuff. Let's crack on with some redstone. Now, the first thing that I want to create is what I'm calling a skeleton dungeon. So the idea behind this is that obviously there's some good loot in there, so you're going to want to go in there if you're exploring caves, but there's going to be some traps and some things that you're going to have to watch out for. And those things that you're going to have to watch out for, of course, are going to be skeletons. Now, how am I going to wire this up? I actually think it should be quite simple. So I've got a bunch of pistons going round like this. As we walk into the room is going to detect that we've entered, and all of these skeletons are going to pop out from behind these doors and walk towards you. They're going to have beefy bows. It's going to be, I mean, that's going to be really tough. How many? That's 9 I don't know if I would be able to take this on personally, but with that being said, I am of course useless at anything where there's combat involved. What do we think to this? This looks pretty vanilla, doesn't it? Like, this looks like, if you peep through there, that actually looks like something that could be in vanilla Minecraft. So we've got the leaves, it's kind of following the same cavey theme, but we've got a lot more cobblestone, some stone bricks and things, and then this chest right here is where all of the items are going to be. Now, I'm wondering, in terms of the activation of this, should we either have pressure plates in this sort of area here, so you walk over them, or should it be triggered by the person removing things from the chest? I actually think the chest. Yeah, this works perfectly. So when the diamonds are on the inside of the chest, everything is all closed up. The player walks in, removes all of the diamonds, and all of the compartments open, and all hell breaks loose. And here are the guys that are going to be giving us grief. I really like this idea. I think this is super cool. I'd love it if we went into caves and just saw this sort of thing lying around. Anyway, next up, the ore room. So now that we have sneaking in Minecraft, I really like the idea of having to almost sneak through an area to get into somewhere with tons upon tons of resources. Now, I know about this place right here. It's a lava lake. It's a big open space. So I'm going to have to do some work on it, making it look pretty once again. But then in the ceiling, I think I'm going to fill it with diamonds and gold. But you know, there's no such thing as a free lunch in my cave systems. So there's going to be another challenge involved. But before we get onto that, how cool is this? So look, we go through here. We have to go through. We have to make our way over to this little trapdoor right here. That will allow us to drop down into crawl mode, and then we can just kind of push ourselves through this little gap. That is like a true caving experience right there. And then in here, this is where it's all going to be happening. So I guess I should probably make it a little bit prettier. Once again, removing all of these ugly blocks. They're horrible. They're absolutely horrible. So here's my idea. We are going to put big old veins of lava up in the ceiling, but then underneath them, we're also going to have veins of ores. This is actually getting quite difficult to place. Alright, I think I've covered up everything, and yeah, those are going to come down like this. So when the player is mining out the blocks, they have to be very wary of the fact that they have lava underneath them, but also lava above them too. But I gotta say, it's worth finding one of these rooms just for how cool it looks alone. I love the way this looks. I love the ores dangling from the ceiling. I love all of the lava and all of the walls and kind of coming down like that. I just think it looks mega. Now, obviously, it couldn't generate very frequently. This would have to be a fairly rare find, but imagine how cool it would be if you were exploring the caves and then you saw one of these tiny little gaps and you knew that this was going to be on the other side. So now that that room is all completed, there's actually a small little detail that I want to work on that is almost a reference to a lot of horror films, because you know, whenever there's like a cave involved in a horror film, the person will walk up, they'll be walking through it, and then they'll walk past the hole and loads of bats will just blast out of it. I like this idea. Now, I'm hoping that it will be just as dramatic as I imagine. So we've got a pulse extender, which is going to retract the piston out the way, so that will open up the hole, and then we also have this dispenser, which is going to blast a bunch of bats into the cave. And I think for extra effect, it might also be worth adding in a command block that plays sounds, maybe ghast noises. That is perfect. So I thought for extra dramatic effect, I would turn off my night vision potion. We're walking through. Where did all the bats go? Are they? They're all just sat there. What? What? Let's go back to the drawing board then. How well does this work? Oh, that's not too bad. Wait, that's not too bad. The explosion out at the end is actually quite good. So I used a slime block to punch them out. I mean, it's not quite perfect, but I like it. I think I'm just going to leave it as is, as a kind of proof of concept. Anyway, next up, big one. This has been the area that I've really cared about for this entire video. So you can see I didn't do any decorating to it because I knew I was going to be making some pretty substantial changes. A little bit like how we did the skeleton dungeon, I was thinking we could build up some form of creeper temple here. And it's going to be bigger than a lot of the other places. I'm talking a big creeper head there, maybe some pillars, all that. Full Indiana Jones. And actually on the pillar front, I think this looks quite cool. Once we start decorating this place properly, with some actual kind of temple structures going round, a few of these pillars will make all the difference. So I would say probably one about here, and maybe even one there. In this space here, yeah. Yeah, that will look quite cool. And I think we can all agree it does. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now for the walls. I'm just thinking iron bars and just things like that. Just small remnants of structure. Also looks pretty good. The cave update, I'm now rooting for a cave update, I can promise you that. Just as a bit of Minecraft trivia here, when I first started out on my YouTube channel, one of my favourites to watch, absolute favourites, was Etho. I watched every single Let's Play episode. So this is kind of... it's almost like a homage to his survival Let's Play world. Right, let's put some lava behind the eyes. Nice, alright. Okay, so we have got the actual look of our creeper temple all down. Next up, we need to actually add all of the redstone components in, and there's some interesting things that I want to do. I'm very curious to see if I can actually pull this off. What I'm thinking is we have a cave-in system. As I say, full Indiana Jones. When you get the treasure, the cave begins to fall down on you, which could be a massive chat. Yeah, that's going to be tricky. That is going to be tricky to pull off in a good way. But with that being said, I have come up with an idea of how to do it. So if I place in some sticky pistons here, and then we pop through to the ceiling, you can see I've actually cleared out a big old space up here where I've started mapping out areas where the roof is going to start caving in, and we're going to have repeaters connecting all of these things up. We're going to have gravel up at the top here that's primed and ready to fall. It's going to end up looking really, really dramatic, and then hopefully I can find a good sound to play while it's happening. This is the one that I had in mind. I mean, it definitely sounds like it's crumbling there. What? I mean, I think that would work. Would that work? Anyway, sounds aside, all of these holes represent areas where gravel is going to fall from the ceiling. So you can see that actually there it's going to look really cool. Now I just have to hook all of these up with a redstone line that kind of snakes through. I don't want it all to happen at once. I want it to be quite gradual. So maybe it will work its way round with a decent delay between each one of the modules. Let's do a quick play test. So Okay. Oh, wow. I think this needs to be... It needs to be a lot faster. Alright. Yeah, I'm way off. I'm glad I did that test. But now after a bunch of fiddling, I managed to get it working. The gravel is in, so let's do a full play test of this thing. Here goes. So, very much like the skeleton temple, we have got a chest with items on the inside. If we take those items out, that is when this stuff starts to happen. This is awesome! Check this out! Oh, that is so cool! Because that is still kind of vanilla Minecrafty. I'm a fan. Obviously, you know, you wouldn't have used blue wool. I don't imagine Mojang would be using blue and yellow wool for the redstone. That just allows me to see where the circuits are. But that has worked. Absolute wonders. I'm so impressed. So that combined with all of the other things that we have inside this area here, that's pretty cool as well. And of course, our ore room through here, which looks absolutely nuts. I think it's safe to say we've got some really interesting features that could serve as potential ideas if Mojang were to do any form of cave updates, because all of them feel fairly vanilla Minecrafty. Like, none of them feel particularly out of place. I even quite like the bat hole. It all looks quite cool. Anyway, I do hope that you've enjoyed this little redstone video. Let me know down in the comment section what sort of thing you would like to see if Mojang were to update the caves. But anyway, I really do hope that you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya! I'm seriously not joking when I say this was one of the most fun videos I've worked on in a long time. I really enjoyed doing this one, and you know what? When everyone started asking for cave updates and everything, I was like, I mean, I don't know if they need to do it, but now that I've played around with it for a bit, God, it would make the game just totally different. It'd be nuts. One.